different way. One day, he wants this powerful machine to fly dreams of a brand new extreme sport. It all begins to take shape at an out-of-the-way garage.
How about if we just start running it from here?
It's one small step to getting this future gyro bike off the ground.
Today's a pretty cool day because I've just installed a new propeller system on this thing.
From this angle, that bright red prop doesn't look like much.
So the ones I have in here today are just they're shortened ones. This is what I'll be flying with, is a real big prop.
Before going big, he starts small. Desert needs to know if this prop can provide enough thrust to push the bike.
And I'm not expecting the kind of performance I get on the road when I'm driving up the wheel, but if it rolls, then that's good. Basically like a stock motorcycle. Just like a bike, I can use the clutch to turn the propeller on and off. I can also select which gear I want, so it'll spin faster or slower. This is not the place for you to stand at this point.
He's got that right. Desert has been here before. This is prototype number 2, a work in progress. For one thing, it doesn't even have a rotor installed. It's based on this, his first gyro bike, a lightweight flyer designed to beat traffic.
One evening I wanted to just basically get out of town. Nobody was really taking on the flying car thing because it's basically a laughable concept in general.
The former air pilot took up the challenge.
So from the first drawings until flight was 7 months. And we did it all here, just basically 2 guys building it in a bike factory.
It's still in good shape, except for a few stiff joints. Fires it up. Once the rotor starts spinning, the prop kicks in, thrusting the motorcycle forward. As the gyro bike picks up speed, the free-spinning rotor starts to catch air. It begins to spin even faster, up to 300 RPMs, and this provides all the lift the bike needs. This old video shows it, but not today. The runway's under construction.
When the first one flew, I was just relieved that it was, basically we beat it up pretty hard. And we was bouncing down the runway and felt like, okay, we've got something, we have to stick with it.
He's sticking with it. He's also supersizing it. This extreme version boasts a 150 horsepower engine, making it 3 times more powerful. So some things will have to change. So if we can crush this thing down, we can actually bring the rear wheel in a little tighter. Obviously, we can eliminate the rear seat if you want to for a racing bike.
That'll help a lot with entering corners and everything like that, just handling on the street in general.
In the invention process, it's sort of like a crooked line. You basically say, I'm going to try this, and you back up, and you go over this, and you bang your head against a hurdle. At some point, you find your way from where you're going to where you want to be. One idea that's working so far, the way the prop is tucked in the middle, behind the driver and in front of the engine. But there's certain advantages to this by having it in the center. Mostly, what it does is it allows me to use effectively the same drivetrain that the motorcycle had when it left the factory. This future gyro bike is made from off-the-shelf motorcycle parts, but it doesn't handle like a bike. When you steer a motorcycle that's underneath you, you're basically bending over. With this one, as it was designed to sit for a pilot, you have to do all your steering with your hands and your brain. Kind of start steering with your butt, basically. That's one reason it's balanced with 2 wheels up front. I had a bizarre sense that the left wheel was actually trailing the right one, which is probably not true. As for the thrust test with the small-scale propeller, no problems here. All the power is just coming from the propeller. And so that means that, I can take it out and test it over long distances for a lot of time so I can get the reliability to where I feel good before I take it in the air. This brings Desert one step closer to really